Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the YOUnify podcast. My name is Brandyn Keating. I'm the co-founder and CEO of YOUnify, a nonprofit organization helping you flourish and thrive. And I'm also the host of our podcast. I'm really delighted to be here today with one of the contributors to the edited volume, Leadership for Flourishing, Cláudia Gonçalves. Cláudia has over 29 years of experience with multinational organizations, and she also is a board member for the Institute for Strategic Clarity. Cláudia, welcome. It's so wonderful to have you here. Could you share with us a little bit more about your professional background that's brought you to this moment?
Thank you, first of all, to your invitation and to be here and have the opportunity to share with you all my interest and deep commitment with flourishing. I started as a consultant, a strategic consultant, and change management, because the practice in Portugal in 3 decades, in the past 3 decades, evolved a lot, but in 93 we were a small group. I started with Anderson Consulting, and when I start, I have to work in both strategy and change management, and I felt all the difference between what is strategy and what is change management. And that never made a lot of sense to me, because I believe that the foremost change agent is connected with strategy and is someone that is in a role of leadership. It's not just strategic thinking. It's not just business capacity. It's also the capacity to be a change agent. And that was something that was very present in my days during the 9 years that I've been in Accenture. After that, I joined IBM and has, again, responsible for the strategic consulting area, very much connected with technology and how to digitalize and processes and streamline that processes connected with the overall IT strategy of the companies. After IBM, I received an invitation for an interim management project in Africa, in Angola.
Wow.
And it was something that I really want to do. I was born in Angola, and it was come back to the country that I left with 3 years, and coming back to work there. It was really something that I liked to do and embrace that opportunity. And at the same time, after several years, more than a decade, working as someone that is working for a company, a big corporation or big corporations, it was really a challenge to be a freelancer. And I did want to try that and see, okay, with big brands, I was capable of doing great projects. And now let's see if on my own, I can find great projects as well. And this interim management was the first one. Then I came back to Portugal, and I had some projects that they were really cool, and I could work as an economist. That is my base training, and it was a great time. And then I received another call. All my movings, because someone called. And I received a call for a former colleague, and he said, okay, we are launching a a company, an IT company in Portugal that is from the Santander Group. And what about you go and be the CEO of that company? And I said, oh, okay, sounds cool. And for the first time, I had the opportunity to connect strategy and change management, because it was my little sandbox, if I can tell, if I can use this expression.
Of course.
But I tried the connection and trying to be a strategic mind in terms of business, with very clear objectives. And at the same time, I developed a lot of initiatives that were connecting with people finding their best self. And it was not just a matter of coaching and having business skills, but it was also related with having personal skills and capacities to, for instance, to have the guts to contribute and really say, okay, this is my idea, and it's okay if it's not a great idea. But I can say, I can evaluate, and my peers can give me feedback, and that could be something that changed completely the way people are working and are collaborating. So I did these, and it was really cool because the bottom line results, they were higher than expected. And after 4 years, my superiors in the Santander Group, they said, okay, you've done this in Portugal, now you need to do this in Mexico. And I went to Mexico to do again a transformation and the cultural big change in the company, the IT company in Mexico. And that's where I found these consultants. They were working with the company, and I invite them to talk about what I've done in Portugal and what I want to do based on specific reality of Mexico, of course. And when I started to explain, they said, okay, you need to talk with Jim Richie Dunham because he's studying cases like yours. And I said, wow, fantastic. There are more people doing this, and someone is putting my experiment in words and really consolidate all the steps and make it intentional. That was the biggest finding for me. It was, okay, we can intentionally get much better results. And from then on, Jim invited me to be a board member of the Institute for Strategic Clarity. And we've been working a lot in this different way of leadership, where we have to work in several points. You need to work the individual, you need to work the peer relation, the group relation, the way you can innovate, and the way that you somehow connect with a purpose, a deeper purpose, a deeper way of viewing what is the impact we want to generate in our companies. So with that, and for the last 13 years, I've been working in the Institute and working with Jim in all these ideas of what can we change in leadership terms to be different. And something that really I was finding is that we need to change as leaders to be able to to be able to face the complexity that we have. For me, it's easy, naturally easy to think systemically, but the major of people, they do not see the systems. It's not easy. They were not trained. But when we somehow flashlight to, you are already working systemically in your personal life, and why don't you do that in your work with a very clear conscience that and awareness that you can impact propositively not just your company and the people that are collaborating with you, but also all the society around you. You can do things that really bring a net positive value.
Beautiful. I love what you shared about having the guts to contribute. I think that's such a great phrase and so important for unlocking human potential. I'm curious, you've had quite a deep and impressive professional journey. What was young Anna Claudia like? And how did you develop the guts to contribute?
I'm a life learner. That's how I see myself. It's someone that is always curious about why things are the way they are, and what can we do to improve that. I had always this curiosity and want to learn and want to find out how can we improve, how can we do better, and because it was very clear for me that the big point is not to have a concrete answer forever, but is the next step. Okay, we have a great answer now, took us to the point where we are, and now what can we do to be better? And that was always my curiosity that lead the possibility. I confess that when I was younger, I started work with 21 years old, and in the environment of Accenture that time, Anderson Consulting, and I was always asking questions and suggesting things. And when I was suggesting things, it was a great way to learn, because if I suggest something that doesn't make sense, I learned why that doesn't make sense. And it was a great way for me to learn. And still a great way for me to learn is thinking about an issue or in a question and try to find out what is the next question. What is the, not the answers, but how to formulate the next question. So I was a bit annoying sometimes, I believe, because I was asking, but I had the lucky to be in a place where it was really funny. My superiors in that time, they were saying, okay, do the way I tell you to do, and then ask me and suggest. Okay. So they had this openness to hear me and to explain me why we were doing these things in that way. And sometimes, yeah, we found other ways to do it that were better. And so it was always something that I couldn't not think.
Yeah, curiosity is such a superpower. I love the idea that when you were formulating a question, it wasn't necessarily to get to an answer, but to keep that evolution going, to keep moving from one question to the next. Now, what about even as a small child? What were you like? Did you have that curiosity growing up?
Yeah. That's something that was with me from my childhood. I learned to read by myself at 4. So
Wow.
because I was curious, not because I'm a great mind or something. I was curious, and I want to understand, and I want to learn, and that is something that I have since the beginning of my life, I believe, and I was always trying to understand not just what I was learning in the school, but always other things. Why you harvest grapes in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of things that were not connected with my learning process, but it was connected with this curiosity.
So, in simple terms, what does leadership for flourishing mean to you, and why is it important today?
The human flourishing, is for me the mission that all of us have. Not just create the conditions to flourishing ourselves, but for the most is creating the conditions to allow people around us to flourish.
Yes.
And for me, the leadership for flourishing is this capacity of creating conditions for people to contribute with their full capacities. And when I talk about full capacities, they are human capacities and technical capacities as well. But from the human, from the individual, from the gifts that all of us have, and they are different, and how to. It's something that the leader need to understand how to apply those gifts in a way to generate a result, a business result, a bottom line.
Yes.
Impact. And for me, is that the leadership for flourishing is this way of create conditions from a deep love as well, that allow people to bring to the table their gifts and organize that in a way to achieve extraordinary results.
And your chapter talks about regenerative capacity, the regenerative capacity of organizations. Could you share a little bit about what that concept means and how it might be different from traditional leadership or organizational behavior?
Yeah, the regenerative capacity is when we build a culture where people are focused on the next question, and they want to learn from each other, and they do that purposefully. So if you work in a specific task, that's something that I did in Mexico. I had that opportunity that each contributor, each collaborator, they have their main area, and they have a secondary area as well. So when you have people that manage two areas in a company, you can face somehow all the changes, and you can regenerate the company in a very quick way.
So you can adapt.
Yeah, adapt and adapt and create value in a different way, because it's not adapt, but is really answer different questions. Is this capacity of, or this culture where people contribute with their creativity, with their innovation capacity, and together we can evolve in a completely different way, in a more quick pace, and with a very clear understanding of the impacts of each change, how that impacts in the company and how that impacts in the clients and stakeholders and providers, but also in the community.
Beautiful. And you also, in the chapter, contrast short-term leadership with conscious leadership. So could you say a little bit about what distinguishes conscious leadership in practice? What does that look like?
When I talk about short-term leadership, we still have that. It's the mainstream kind of leadership that you are invested with a clear business objective, and you go to a company and you are a CEO for 2-3 years and you achieve your objectives, and you go to the next challenge. And your people, they didn't evolve as people. They evolve as technicians, but their frustrations, their way to see their capacities, their possibility to contribute and to be heard, it's not there. So then nothing that you've done stick with the people because they were not involved.
Right.
So then it comes another CEO that will do the same kind of things. And for me, the conscious leadership and a long-term view in terms of leadership is very much connected with this capacity of generate environments where people can flourish. And it's something that we work with people, with their gifts and their creativity, and generate a safe space where people want to contribute and they want to, they are open to really make any error or say something that's not a good idea, but they are okay with that. And we all are okay with that because it's part of the learning process.
Yes.
So it's always there are no bad ideas in the sense. There are ideas that work, there are ideas that don't work. And when they don't work, it's not something that is a big issue. It's something that open your possibility to learn. So this way of thinking in the future, not only in the future of the company, but also in the future of the people that work with you, and how can they develop their best self. And when they develop their best self, it's amazing because the bottom line result, the impacts that are really important to the business, they are much better.
Yes. Well, and having that flexibility to, sort of quote, fail is such an accelerant to learning. And yet at the same time, people struggle with that so much. I feel like a lot of leaders, maybe feel trapped by quarterly reports or certain metrics that they have to meet. How do you recommend that people begin to shift from that mindset or from that habit to a more regenerative or flourishing oriented style of leadership?
In the book, I refer as something like I always connect very much with this idea of flying and have to change the engine of the plane while you fly. And when I say while you fly, while you're piloting the plane, is the day-to-day. It's the reporting. Mm-hmm. The reporting every week, the reporting every month, the reporting the quarter objectives. So you need to be connected with that, absolutely. And only because you are connected with that you will be able to think in a long-term change of culture and how to develop this environment. If your company is not producing results, then you don't have time to think in this long-term flourishing process. And that's and the big, I believe the big step is to really believe in the process. That the first step where we say, okay, I know how to fly the plane, and now I really believe that I can change as well and make a deeper transformation in the company. That first step is really, really difficult because you have to trust. And you have to really believe that you can do that and believe in the people. That's why I talk about love. You really need to love the other to see in them not just a collaborator, see in them a human being, and believe deeply that if they have the right conditions, they can bring much more to the table. And somehow is this first step that is difficult.
Yeah.
And the good news is if you can give this first step, your bottom line results, they will be much better than they are.
Yes.
And when you move, your people have the tools to face and to be resilient to the market changes. And that's great. That's a really great feeling because you really contribute to people having a better life and having a better self and have different and much better technical qualities based on collaboration, based on these idea generation, a collective, collectively. And that's great. It's a great feeling.
Yes. And if people would like to connect with you to learn more or to collaborate with you, what's the best way for them to do that? Is there a website that they should go to or connect with you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, people can connect with me in LinkedIn or really, I think LinkedIn is the easiest way, but you can send an email to the Institute email. And I don't know if you will have the possibility to add my email of the Institute, that is acg@isclarity.org. And drop your ideas, and I will love to learn from you.
Beautiful. So, folks, we will have all of the links. We'll have Ana Claudia's email and her LinkedIn in the YouTube description if you're seeing this on YouTube, and across all of our socials in the comments as well, and our links in bio on the relevant socials. So if you're liking what you hear, if this is of value to you, or you think it could be of value to someone that you know, we really invite you to like, share, subscribe, wherever you are seeing or hearing this podcast. That really helps us get the information to more people. So it's a great quick thing that you can do right now to help. And Ana Claudia, this time has absolutely flown by, but I do have one quick question for you to close out, which is for somebody listening who maybe they're not in a big, huge organization managing a lot of people, how could they apply some of these ideas? What's just one thing, like maybe a simple thing they could do right after listening to this podcast to sort of have more flourishing in the world around them?
The first thing is looking around, understand how their people are, and understand that you can do a lot of partnerships around you with your clients, with your providers, with academia, there are a lot of value that you can capture around you and that you're not using.
Beautiful.
That I would say it's the key.
Yeah, finding those partnerships and creating that ecosystem around you. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Ana Cláudia. And we're going to have you back because there's so much more to get into about your body of work and the benefit to the world. Thanks, everybody, for joining today, and we'll see you next time.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
And will I see you? Will you be joining us at Harvard?